Nothing built can last forever, and every legend, no matter how great, fades with time. With each passing year, more and more details are lost, until all that remains are myths, half-truths. To put it simply, lies. And yet, in all the known universe, between here and the far lands, the legend of the Order of the Stone endures, unabridged as self-evident fact. But when one story ends, another one begins.
Episode 1 is always the first impression of every Telltale game, and Minecraft Story Mode is no different. The game first presents us a long log about our 4 legendary heroes. Gabriel the Warrior, a warrior that wears a blue trimmed armor and is shown to be a fighter. Ellegaard the Redstone Engineer, an engineer that specializes in redstone. Magnus the Rogue, a destructive force that specializes specifically in explosions like TNT. And Soren, the architect of the group. He is also the leader of the Order of the Stone. Their greatest achievement that cemented them into legendary status is killing a Ender Dragon, and they soon forever known as legends. Episode 1 starts with Olivia asking our protagonist Jesse would he rather fight 100 chicken-sized zombies or 10 zombie-sized chickens. This is the introduction of choosing dialogue in the game and makes decisions based off of our past decisions. This episode also introduces quick time events for the first time, where we are tasked with gathering materials for the building competition by either mashing a button or using diagonal controls to make movement happen. But I'm going a little off track. While Jesse was speaking to Olivia, Axel scares the group by wearing a creeper mask, which we tell him he's not funny, and Ruben, our pig, punts his head at him. Axel is the comic relief of the game, and he is a relatively big guy with, I'm not even gonna lie, sometimes he's genuinely annoying by how he's insistent on doing his own thing. He is the brute of the group, but without spoiling anything, he's someone that can be trusted. And Olivia, yeah, these characters are just sort of generic. I personally don't mind it, but I don't have anything to say about Olivia. She's just there. After leaving the treehouse, Axel tells us that the winner of the building competition can meet Gabriel the Warrior. After gathering materials for the competition, we are headed out to the booth, and we are immediately established as losers by a bully character in their group. Unsure why, but life just kind of goes on. While speaking to the bully group and contemplating whether we want to jump them or ignore them, another new character appears named Petra. She is, I guess, a friend to Jesse and the bullies group. I mean, I played the whole game. I know what she is in the story, but not really in the beginning.
Building starts now!
Next, we started building.
Oh no! A fireworks dispenser! I'm so scared!
You worry about your build, and we'll worry about ours. And now, the moment of truth.
Here goes nothing.
Blasted fireworks in the air. Apparently that was too cool for the main bully, so the loser decided to...
It's just a bunch of dyed wolves! Whoops.
Lava right through our build, and Ruben got hit in the crossfire and ran towards the forest. Jesse tells Axel and Olivia to help the build. Jesse chases after saying that. It is now nighttime, and we search for Ruben. With the leads we have, like a variety of hoof steps, a burning tree, and a smoky costume that thankfully wasn't Ruben. We finally find Ruben in tall bushes and wasn't going to get upset at him. He was just scared, but they did get ambushed by a few zombies, and we are now introduced to the combat system of the game. Oh boy, the combat system of the game. The combat system is very, very janky. I cannot tell you how close or far you are by just hitting them. I felt that it was the weakest part of the game, unfortunately. I believe if it was replaced by multiple quick time attacks, that would have been more impactful than just the standard hit and slash that they defaulted to. While tussling with a spider, Petra came to Jesse's rescue and saved Jesse and Ruben from getting mauled by a bunch of zombies. To me, the coolest thing about Minecraft Story Mode is it uses Minecraft's physics and rules to establish the world of Minecraft Story Mode. From beating down zombies and proof into a whole bunch of smoke to having their own crafting system in the game to make your items. It tremendously enhances the experience of the game for Minecraft fans a lot more. I understand that this is a Minecraft spin-off game after all, but they went out of their way to make it seem like an actual Minecraft world rather than a parody of Minecraft. That's just so cool to me. Back to Jesse and Petra. While walking on the bridge, they get ambushed by a whole bunch of mobs and they decided that the only way out is to jump.
Don't you know? You dive into the water. You don't land on top of it. Pull yourself together and follow me.
Jesse and Petra walks into Endercon and Petra notifies Jesse that she have a Wither Skull to give to someone for a diamond. So of course, to impress Petra, Jesse went to the alleyway and gets jump scared by someone named Ivor. Now Ivor, he seems kind of old, you know. I'm just surprised he could even stand, you know. Anywho, Petra comes and saves Jesse. Ivor inspects the skull while we check the chest and we get Lapis? We immediately booked it and started to look for this old freak. First, we asked this DJ.
Tall, kind of mysterious, hypnotic eyes and a devilish smile.
She didn't enjoy us. Oh, there he is. Oh, oh wait, that's a woman. You find out that Ivor is headed to the hall and the usher is scared of chickens. Well, how is that important to the story? We break a chicken machine to cause a distraction, of course. After breaking the chicken's machine, we found out about Ivor's hideout and discover he have a command block in the middle of the soul sand that makes a wither. But before we do anything else, Ivor comes into his hideout and everyone hides. Livia almost gets caught and the game was about to jump Ivor until he somehow got the chance to build a iron golem and the gang runs outside. This is something that I don't understand. You guys had him and then you guys just let him talk his way to iron golem. Whatever. While running outside of the hideout, nobody notices that Lucas wasn't with them. Long story short, Jesse and Ruben saves Lucas from the Iron Golem. And then coming back to the scene, we come to find out that nobody from the gang can convince Gabriel to take them seriously. But they didn't have to convince Gabriel because Ivor himself shown himself to Gabriel. He notices him, but before Gabriel stops him, he had the time again to build a whole nother mob. And this time, this one really did cause havoc.
Creature! Retreat!
Inside the temple! The inner chamber is built entirely of obsidian. Take this amulet and guard it with your life.
Thanks, Jesse.
Another. It's really cool that they included this type of dimension inside the game, although I do think this is the old update, since I don't know how long. I'm pretty sure it was like 2016 that this game came out, maybe 17, although I do think this is the old update just by seeing the graphics in the background, because you know we have different textures of blocks now. While everyone was talking in the Nether, Ivor comes out of the portal, and of course I made Jesse sock him right in the face. I mean, he literally caused a massive worldwide panic. Why would I not do that? And instead of punching me back, he says a few words, then disappears. What are my feelings on Ivor so far? I think he's a very interesting character in the beginning of the story. He is an antagonist, of course, but he doesn't exactly act like one, because he have unclear motives and he's not directly against the squad. I'm just more so excited about how they would flesh him out over the course of the game. Anywho, Jesse and the gang go on a minecart ride through the Nether and they reach the overworld. I decided we should build a dirt house to spend the night, so that's what we quickly did. After building the dirt house, randomly Axel started beefing with Lucas for no apparent reason. He was literally just picking on the boy for no reason. This honestly bothered me so much, and I don't exactly know why, but Jesse and Olivia de-escalates it and they just sleep for the night. So hold up. You're telling me that none of this is going to be resolved and like that's just going to be lingered down in the background? I bet you that they're not going to have beef in the morning, but I heavily digress. Getting up in the morning proved to be the reset that everyone needed. Jesse and Lucas bond over the whole Axel fight thing, and they find the Order of the Stone castle. Entering the castle, Ben for some odd reason freaked out about something and the castle set off traps. Everyone ran and nobody got hit once, which I thought was insane, but they couldn't get past the other side. So they gathered some materials and that all of them had, and they came up with a fishing rod. It actually helped in disabling traps, believe it or not. Freely walking to the other room across, we recognized that this was the same room for the very beginning intro of the game, and I'll let Jesse take over from here.
The battle was fierce, but the Order of the Stone emerged triumphant, saving the land and ensuring that peace and prosperity would reign forever.
Well, not exactly forever.
These 5 members, 5 friends, together would give so much to gain their rightful place as 5 heroes.
They would author their own end. They would slay a dragon.
Ivor was a member of the Order of the Stone?
This punk was in the Order of the Stone? That means I could be in the Order of the Stone too. Just shaking my head. Nevertheless, Jesse and the gang head upstairs, and they place the amulet on top of the mini platform that reveals 2 beams, a red beam and a green beam, soon to be known as Ellegaard as the red beam and Magnus as the green beam. They shown their locations on the map, and so to get ready for this preparation, Lucas is staying for Petra and making sure the base is safe. Olivia wants to go get Ellegaard while Axel wants to go get Magnus, and the game wants us to choose one person to go with, Axel or Olivia. I decided to go with Olivia to get Ellegaard, leaving Axel behind. Alright, let's talk about episode 1. Episode 1 served as the basis to introduce the characters, the overall plot, and introduce the mechanics of the game. I think they executed it fairly well. I know most of the characters, even if they were generic for the most part, maybe from like other than like Ivor or Petra or maybe even Jesse, have a good basis to be improved upon in the coming episodes. The moment where Axel randomly get mad at Lucas for no apparent reason is what I'm using as an example of just making up a problem just for making up a problem. I really do hope they just don't get mad at each other the whole entire story for no apparent reason, and I really do want them to expand on their character development the more the story goes on. I'm completely fine with the idea of a group of losers and now the only hope of saving the world. It can be done right. I just really hope that they could really just build upon this great basis. Episode 2 starts off with Jesse and Olivia heading to Redstonia, of course not before the occasional problem, before the big reveal that is in the shape of a terrible face-off against a gas. Seriously, the gas could have shot above me and killed all of us, and we basically had to time one button. I wanted it to be more interesting, but it's just whatever. After that, we enter to Redstonia. We meet Ellegaard, well, until she locked herself in a dome, and we head out to find a repeater to open the dome. The first person we meet is this little disco guy. All he does is dances, which I kind of respect, and his build is a cow thingamajigga. I don't exactly know, but we just learned that he has a beef with a wimpy schoolboy. So to make things interesting, I told the schoolboy he said he stole ideas. While they were getting antsy, I took the disco person's repeater and quickly got out of there. Wow, this place is insane. She's 100% a nerd. Some puzzle stuff later, and we meet the big girl herself, Ellegaard. Immediately after meeting her, Olivia seems to be very nervous and very fangirly about going up to Olivia, and she faints afterwards. So far, the thing I noticed about Ellegaard's character during this whole segment is that she's very full of herself. She always says she's a genius, or she's a great inventor, or whatever. She is very egotistical, and even a little bit rude without directly being rude. And please don't give me hate, but I kind of enjoy this type of beginning character. It gives Ellegaard an actual personality instead of the typical, I don't know, just bland generic character like Olivia and Axel. It would be awesome if over time she's less egotistical and more team orientated. So in terms of story, I like Ellegaard so far. I like her character. We also find out she's working on a command block as well. We all know how that went. Jesse tells Ellegaard that we need the Order together, and she tells us the heartbreaking news that the Order isn't together anymore. But we show her the amulet, and she got to work on the command block.
Something like that!
You win? Fuck it, I'm in. Let's roll.
Yeah, I choose that because I just don't care anymore.
this far before? No, never! Is it destabilizing?
While we was so close to being finished with the command block, the Witherstorm decides to bust our operations and we book it towards the portal. We landed near the base and we meet up with Lucas and Petra again. Oh god, they're beefing. Ellegaard absolutely does not like Magnus. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering where Magnus comes from, Alex went to Boomtown to get him, so he's the other green guy. Ellegaard doesn't really explain why they don't like each other, but Jesse had to remind everybody that we are doing this for the world. Very team leader-ish. Ellegaard had the idea of tracking Soren down to get a super TNT, or I guess Metabomb, which is perfect. Before tackling the issue, we spoke to Petra and she seems to be not doing the best. Actually, she doesn't even want to talk about it. We need to keep an eye on her. Olivia is shameful that she fainted and made a fool out of herself. Axel is doing awesome since he's hanging out with Magnus. That character development so far. Touching the amulet a bit farther, we discover where Soren really is, and come to find out Ivor is actually tracked his location too, somehow. Magnus suggests to wait out until nighttime. Jesse and Ellegaard said no, and we all decide to go out during nighttime.
Okay, everyone, let's get moving.
See? This is why I said we should have waited till morning. We wouldn't need to worry about any of this crap.
How far is Soren?
It has to be close, right?
Not much farther, we can make it!
Well, that was a bad idea. He made it out to Soren's hideout barely unscathed, and Petra starts coughing. I promise you, this is important. I really do promise. After a few jumping and Ruben almost freaking dying, Ellegaard and Magnus part ways to the left and right, since I guess they just had a little disagreement, and we asked Petra if she's okay. She just doesn't want to answer, so we definitely need to keep an eye on her. While walking, everyone parted ways except for Jesse and Petra. She tells us that she needs to tell us something, and she tells us that she has wither sickness. Jesse tries to call for help, but somehow he fallen down a unknown tunnel, somehow, just coincidentally. And while walking, Jesse finds himself in a big library that is massive. But he also finds Ivor. How is he so quick, dog? And Petra backs me up doing sword to sword combat with him, and this little punk starts to use potions. I'm talking speed potions, domed him while he was going accelerated fast, turned invincible, dodged all of his potions, and when the gang tries to jump him, he turned to us also. Wow. What
Magnus and Ellegaard may think they can stop me, that they can destroy the Wither Storm, but they are mistaken, and it will cost them their lives.
Alright, let's talk about episode 2. I know in the little recording thing right now, this was 6 minutes of just explaining. I feel like episode 2 was just meant to drive the plot along. There was a lot of fluff that I really did cut out, because like I want to get to the point really fast. I just feel like episode 2 was just meant to drive the plot along. And yeah, we meet Ellegaard and Magnus, but in terms of the original cast, nothing have really changed that much except for Petra, who is sick now. Episode 2 doesn't really add any changes, maybe the gas fight at the beginning, but that was just boring and unnecessary. They added a really simple puzzle segment in Ellegaard that was just really simple. I do think that if they added more puzzles, that would have been fine actually for this type of game. I understand that it was made for kids, but I felt it was just way too easy. But story wise, I still think episode 1 is better when it comes to driving the plot along home. I think this might be the shortest segment because like I just don't really have much to say about this. So yeah.
Stop him! Come back and fight! Watch it!
You're out of the way!
Episode 3 immediately picks back off where episode 2 ended and starts with a little gag from Axel, where he just falls on the floor. Everyone starts to brainstorm ideas to get out of this little room they are in, and of course Axel has stupid ideas because he's the comedic guy in the group. Petra seems not okay. Olivia just shuts down Axel's stupid idea. Lucas feels hopeless until Jesse just pulls out the ambulance to find the others, and Lucas just steadily just trying to grab Jesse's amulet that Gabriel gave to Jesse repeatedly. Alright, at this point of the story, I gave Lucas a little bit of a segment, but this is legit foreshadowing to Lucas' character development throughout this episode. Please do not forget this moment, because this moment just really irritated me. You just made him want to be the leader just randomly, even though he was so okay with just being the support role. Anywho, after Jesse was tugging with Lucas about the ambulance, it blinked white, meaning that Soren is close by, and we started to dig down. I thought Minecraft's #1 rule was to never dig down. Throughout episode 3, without spoiling anything, I felt like this episode was more gags than any episode so far. The other episodes had some jokes here and there, but I felt it was many gags than usual in episode 3 rather than the first 2. For example, throughout this episode, Axel had a gag where if Axel was falling anywhere, he would always land on Lucas. Of course, I'm not complaining, I guess. It just relieves the tension, but it's just something to note, because if I notice it and I don't really notice or paying attention to much things, then it's definitely something to take note of. Walking through the tunnel a bit, we come to find out that we are in one of the tunnels that's directly tied to a massive grinder that collects dead mobs, basically dead mobs items. While fighting the creepers, Jesse freaks out and drops the amulet. How do you manage to drop the most important thing to save the world is beyond me. But as the cool leader Jesse is, we get this cool little fight cutscene filled with cool moments that illustrates how good Telltale can combine quick time moments with fast-paced action. I'll have Jesse take it from here. After that awesome cutscene to prove Jesse being effective in combat situations, Jesse and friends end up in Soren's laboratory where all of his items and stuff is transported to different places, I assume so. And Lucas still wants to be the leader so bad. Bro, you is not Jesse. Being in the laboratory meant danger as everyone was just getting back on their feet and mobs just start to pour down and everyone just books it. Okay, so I am writing the script now as of May 18, 2025, and I'm just like realizing while helping Petra, Jesse calls Petra a them rather than a she. And like, I know like it's really stupid to notice that, but I definitely striked it as just kind of a oddity because this was written back in like late of 2015. So I just wanted to point that out because like obviously it's just kind of interesting how I'm pretty sure in certain parts they do say she. I could be very wrong with that, but maybe I'm just like thinking wrong. Maybe they never called her a she this whole entire time. But anywho, I just thought that was interesting. While barely escaping from Soren's laboratory, Lucas finds a way to complain that we are just lost. Alright, I want to have a discussion about Lucas for the second time. From the beginning to the very episode now, he being very annoying throughout this whole episode. All the other episodes before, he just kind of sat down in his corner and followed Jesse's lead. But now all of a sudden in episode 3, he wants to become the leader and think this is just a slight over-explaining. Because it does somehow get explained. Since he knows Petra is sick, for me at least, it just feels a little bit out of character for Lucas. Maybe he's upset because of Petra, and I understand, it's whatever, but this just seems really out of line for him to randomly go ballistic for this moment specifically. But after all this ranting, I tell Jesse to let him lead to get us all to the stairs. I mean, there's no problem with letting another person lead, it's alright. Lucas leads us to the stairs, and at the top of the stairs we find a bright cotton world. Whoa, this is weird. Walking around a bit made obvious this is a puzzle that you just need to flip some levers, which is pretty simple enough. Before I moved on though, I spoke to everybody before moving on. Petra feels a bit better, but she still looks terrible. Lucas apologizes for being rude and points out how Petra looks terrible, even though I thought it was very obvious. And Olivia and Axel have no character development. Cool. After finding all the levers, we finally find Soren's hallways and barrage into an unknown door that had music playing through it. Finding out it's a voice recorder really bummed us, but not until discovering a bootleg Enderman costume that will get Jesse through the herd of Enderman outside. Going outside, we find a replica of a crafting table grid, and we have to place 6 craft blocks on the grid in a separate pattern. Finishing the grid, a random Enderman socked Jesse in the face, and we woke up to find Soren in front of Jesse. Soren is a very interesting character. I theorize he's been alone for so long that he just longs for a human connection, but he seems so reserved to the point where he don't exactly trust everyone and anyone. For example, Jesse said that the Order needs him and he jumps at the opportunity to know what they say about him. I think he just wants to be liked and respected and have someone to trust. I personally like Soren so far, and please tell me I'm glazing Soren, but I mean glaze. Why did Soren start breaking into a musical randomly?
Gary may seem scary, but he's a swell guy. Sally dilly-dallies, give her credit, she tries. They might look the same to the untrained eye, but that's a lie, so I say.
Oh, and I guess Enderman entered in the room, I guess. Since there was 2 fountains full of water, we broke them and successfully made it out of the dome. And we get to the overworld, Soren needs to make the Formidabomb. After gathering all the materials we need for the Formidabomb, we successfully made it and ran off to the minecarts to escape. Exiting the tunnel, we find Magnus and Ellegaard conveniently fighting for their lives. Ellegaard and Magnus have offered both of their armors to Jesse, and you know what, I did have a hard time picking armor, but I decided to Magnus armor since it looks cooler than Ellegaard's armor, and I want him to owe him back for choosing Ellegaard over him. After choosing Magnus armor, we finally go head to head with the Witherstorm. The plan is to set up a crafting table and set the bomb up while the whole game is distracting the Witherstorm. It seems pretty easy and seems to work, right? Well,
Jesse, don't forget Super TNT in the middle and gunpowder all around.
I hope this works!
Is it over?
I can't believe it's actually dead.
You did it, Jesse! You actually did it!
Not that I'm saying I doubted you, but I did a little. But now I don't, and I never will again.
Thank you for saving my life back there.
Anytime.
Thanks, buddy.
Anybody seen Soren and Magnus?
Oh, no.
You fought valiantly, my friend.
We both know my fight is over, man.
Stuff and nonsense. Stuff and nonsense. Save your strength, Magnus. We'll take care of this. We'll take care of you.
Jesse,
Magnus.
my armor. It looks great on you, man. I want you to keep it, okay? It's not gonna be much use to me anymore.
Magnus, no. This armor belongs to you.
You earned it, Jesse. Hey, at least I finally got to be a real hero, right?
Get to safety. There are people over there who can help you.
Thank you.
You're gonna be okay. I promise.
Thank you.
All over now. My friends are gonna help you.
I hope you're right. Thank you.
The command block, that's impossible! I don't understand. Soren said the Formidabomb would destroy it, but it looks fine. What the? Guys! Over here! No! No! Somebody help! Can't hold on! But I thought you were dead. I saw you.
What happened here?
I'll explain everything, just not right now. Let's go!
Who's Gabriel?
Episode 4 picks back up where episode 3 ends, and we discover that Gabriel is not actually dead. He just doesn't have his memory. But before we could even say or question anything, Jesse had to take Gabriel and leave out of there. While this whole thing was happening, Enderman started to take a part of the Witherstorm. I promise you this is another thing that's important. Finding a bunch of horses, just conveniently by the way, this allowed Jesse and the gang to quickly get away from the Witherstorm and retreat to a small little spot in the cave. After entering the spot though, we finally get a chance to speak to Gabriel, but he seems to not remember us. And like I mentioned before, he has memory loss. With it being noticeable that he doesn't recognize Soren or Ellegaard, of course he recognizes Jesse the goat. Gabriel recognizes Lucas' jacket because Gabriel said he saw those same people wearing the same jacket inside of the Witherstorm, or something like that anyways. And you know what Lucas did with this information? To go after his friend. Alright, I'm so sick of Lucas. Like, from the beginning of the story to now, I did like Lucas, but it's just a stupid decision after stupid decision. I mean, I managed to convince Lucas to stay with us, but who in their right minds would think adventuring alone is the right call in any circumstance? I checked the others and everyone is okay, but Lucas just really just soured his character for me just a bit more. To get a breather of everything that's happening, Jesse joined Ruben outside to look at the scenery together. And honestly, this scene is really beautifully done. I don't think I commented on Minecraft Story Mode music just yet, but the music throughout the whole game is so peak. It complements the whole chill music that Minecraft is already known for in its own game, and for it to not really feel too stale without anything off-putting. It's a fantastic listen. While speaking to Ruben, Jesse overhears an argument between Soren and Ivor. Wow, it's been a while since we've seen Ivor. Ivor tells Jesse and Soren that everyone is in danger, and he kind of forgot to tell us that he programmed it to basically follow Gabriel's amulet. Do you know how helpful this would have been the whole entire time? We went through the whole entire game not knowing this, but it does kind of make sense. Jesse recalls seeing Enderman pull blocks off of the Witherstorm, and Soren came up with a plan to get all of the Endermen to coordinate together and defeat the Witherstorm. Jesse also proposes the idea to make them go to Soren's lab to bring the storm to them instead of Enderman going to the Witherstorm. Now for the command block, Ivor have a book in his secret lab to destroy the command block, but the main problem is that it's all the way in the far land, which is a while, but it's their only hope. With the plan set in stone, the game decides that they need to go right now. Axel wanted to take the amulet so that it isn't on our tail, which is very brave of him. I can't lie, that is some cool character development right there. And Ellegaard decides to join him. Off they go. One thing that is so cool in episode 4 is that they mentioned the Farlands. Now, if you don't know what the Farlands is for some unknown reason, I will give you a really short history lesson. Back in the day, Minecraft had a terrain bug that happened when you get to basically the very end of a Minecraft world. That's nicknamed the Farlands. It was a glitch that broke the terrain and break into multiple little holes that separated them from several sections of a little but very long shorts chunk of land that was only possible because of Minecraft's limitations, that it basically starts to spaz out and create impossible or infinite numbers, which if you're curious, they should appear at 12,550,821 X and Y coordinates respectfully. I know I just went on a random history lesson, but I just find that Minecraft Story Mode, including this, is such a nod to such a unattended popular Minecraft feature that obviously was intentional. It was just fanfare, but it was. And that's just so cool to me. Oh, and Jesse and friends got attacked by a witch, ran some more, and was welcomed by the Farlands. Going into one of the Farlands holes, we are greeted with a massive puzzle that Jesse just decided not to go into the maze, and instead finds a new way of going up the vines, makes us on the top of the maze, and now turns into a puzzle to get to the house. It took me a little bit to get there, but we discover a machine to get to the house, but Jesse doesn't know how to use it when coincidentally Olivia comes, and Olivia inspects the machine, but she just doubts herself, say it's out of her league, reminding Jesse that Ellegaard said she doesn't have what it takes to be a good engineer. Jesse, the GOAT, reasons with Olivia and says that the Order is still people. Olivia makes great points that the Order is somehow failing the mission, and that gives Olivia some confidence to figure out the machine and get everyone to the other side. I know this may seem very off-field for Olivia, but I actually really enjoy this character development for Olivia. This whole entire time, she sort of just been kind of a wimp and a nerd, but having her realize that she can do this and she needs to hold her own weight is awesome. Even if she was shoehorned in the plot convenience, it's great. She's now on par with Axel. Just barely though. After entering Ivor's lab, we were tasked with finding a lever, and Jesse makes a lever that goes down a hallway with Soren that just locks up. Going down the stairs, we discovered that Ivor kept all of the treasures that the Order of the Stone got from their adventures and put them in little display cases. The cool part about all of these treasures is each treasure have a story to how they got it, and Jesse were tasked to put them in order by what treasures they got first from Soren's stories. As the GOAT Jesse is, I got them in all in one try. Let's go. By putting all of the treasures in the right place, a secret door opens that exposes a very replica of the Ender Dragon fight from the very beginning of the story. Soren tells the story again, and we pressed each button that follows the story in that same order again. Doing both things grants us access to the room where the enchantment book is at to destroy the command block. And there is end crystals in the room? I don't think this is possible. Yeah, okay. So apparently the story Soren told isn't exactly 100% accurate. The Order of the Stone did not even kill the Ender Dragon, and instead they used the command block to make the Ender Dragon disappear. All of the lies of them saying they did this amazing stuff, and even all just lying because they used the command block to really cheat their way to do everything. This actually explains everything. Ivor had resentment towards the group from literally episode 1, where he tried to teach Gabriel a lesson, and that's why he made the Witherstorm to teach the whole entire order a lesson. Peak story writing. Of course, everyone else heard Soren admit that, and Soren is very ashamed. Huff at this pity party. He got work to do. Ivor asks us to enchant the book on a diamond sword. Then we could choose a new pair of armor. This is so peak, bro. I love this so much. I am admittedly having too much fun with this. Heading back to Soren's lab, Jesse and friends finds Axel still intact and Ellegaard fighting the storm by herself. Ivor chases after Gabriel because he randomly just ran. Jesse and friends enter into the lab and Soren just dips. Coward, just straight coward. Jesus Christ, man. So while picking up Soren's slack, Jesse tries to make all the Endermen in the circle get picked up by the purple being and pick the Witherstorm with a series of quick time events, which is just so peak. This episode might be the best episode so far. But after Jesse just made all the Endermen go up, he uses one of Ivor's potions to leap into the Witherstorm and fight it head on. Jesse and Reuben goes inside of the Witherstorm. Reuben gets scared and basically just runs. Jesse takes one swing at the commandment block and the Witherstorm awakens from inside and starts to attack. With a series of quick time events, Jesse tears off its arms and successfully hit the command block for the second time. The command block decides to randomly just turn upside down to be on the top part. And Jesse tells Reuben to stay up there since he literally doesn't want his pet pig to die. Jesse goes up and gets captured by one of the Witherstorm's arms and he drops his sword. And now his pet pig, Reuben, is his only hope. Jesse reminds Reuben of how they used to play fetch. And Reuben immediately knew what he was talking about and he runs up to give Jesse the sword. Jesse catches Reuben, and when Jesse was about to get the sword, Reuben gets bit by one of the heads and Reuben drops in the hole.
Jesse, are you alright?
We thought you were...
Reuben! Where's Reuben?
I thought he was with you.
You did it, Jesse! You actually did it!
Hey, do you guys hear something?
Reuben! Reuben. You're a hero. You know that? You just helped save the world. Come on, Reuben, say something. Reuben, don't do this to me. I need you, boy.
Jesse, I am so sorry.
People used to look at me like that once, Jesse. Having my memory restored has been both a blessing and a curse. Perhaps they deserve to know the truth about the Order. All those lies we told them. Maybe I should finally come clean.
Don't tell them, Gabriel. Just let them have their legend.
We all owe a great debt to Jesse and his friends. But I owe a debt to you people as well. Which is why there is something I want to tell you about the Order. We may have defeated the Ender Dragon, but that is nothing compared to what these heroes did. They took down a Witherstorm. They are a new generation of heroes.
Thank you, everyone. I know you think I'm up here because I saved the world or something, but the truth is, I didn't do it alone. Far from it. You see, I had my friends with me. It was Olivia, Axel, Petra, Lucas. They never gave up on the world or on me. Well, maybe once or twice.
If they only knew.
It's crazy to think my friends and I started out in a treehouse, and now we've been to some of the weirdest places in the world. I mean, come on, we went to the Farlands. There was this gigantic wall and a huge maze and a model of the Ender Dragon that, well, you just had to be there. But when all was said and done, you know what really mattered? Finishing what we set out to do. Because there's no way we were going to let a world this cool get torn apart. We did it!
Jesse, this Nether Star is all that remained when the Witherstorm was destroyed. Would you please do the honors?
This is gonna be so cool.
Pleased to introduce to you the new Order of the Stone.
And so it was that a new Order of the Stone was born. one whose adventures were only just beginning. For though the world had been saved and the command block destroyed, there are many more worlds than just this one.
Episode 4 was a roller coaster. From here to episode 1, episode 4 is my favorite episode throughout the first 4 episodes. I think all of the characters are at least somewhat developed by this point. Olivia and Axel had some character development. I did want Petra to be more towards the end, but I'm satisfied with the ending. I think they handled the ending really incredibly well with killing off Ruben, even though it really did make me sad. They needed somebody to kill off, and obviously if you're planning more episodes, you couldn't kill any of the other characters. Ruben is the GOAT though, just long live legend. Anywho, episode 4 is just borderline perfect, and I think this is probably my favorite episode out of all of these.